Queens College alum, comedian, and talk show host Joy Behar recently sat down with our very own Barry Mitchell to share memories about her undergraduate years at the Flushing campus.
I admire Kennedy because he got us out of that Cuban Missile Crisis, which I was in college when that happened, and I said to my friends, we're going to die. They had nuclear missiles headed toward Queens College, where I was, exactly where I was. It was 1962. The Russians, with Nikita Khrushchev's blessing, were pointing nuclear armaments towards Queens College, as far as I was concerned. And I thought, I don't want to die a virgin. Everybody was so scared. I remember that exact, and you know, thank God President Kennedy made a deal with the Russians behind the scenes. They could learn from him. When I went there, it was the best school in the
CUNY?
CUNY, right. I wanted a campus. I thought they have trees in Queens College, there's grass. I was the president of Delta Zeta at that time, which was the national sorority. You had to join a sorority at Queens College because it's such a big school. So when you joined a fraternity or a sorority, you could sit with those people in the cafeteria, and that's how you found some connections there. It was difficult and very hard to do.
You were a sociology major?
I was.
Do you remember
English, I was a sociology major, English minor, but then I got my master's in English education because I was a teacher for a while.
Right, and you were an English teacher.
I was.
Tough kids.
Some of them were tough.
I used to teach English to the high school dropouts in the worst neighborhood in New York. Were you in my class? It's possible. You know the kind of kids who go to jail because they set fire to their parents? Then they would send them to me to teach them the difference between who and whom. That was the job.
Do you remember specifically any courses that influenced you or professors?
Yes. I did have one sociology professor. His name was Victor Joshua. He taught sociology, and he was just the most entertaining, the most brilliant person I've ever been in a classroom with. He totally turned a boring subject like sociology, which can be, believe me, even my ex-husband's a sociology professor. So I know what I'm talking about. And he turned that topic into the most fascinating topic. In fact, I wrote an A paper for him about suicide on the college campus based on Emil Durkheim's theory of anomie. How do you like that?
Wow, that's a great memory.
Yep. You know, one of my memories there is that I used to sing songs with Paul Simon on the Clapper Library steps.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello. And Paul Simon, you know, it's so funny because he was with AE Pi fraternity, and every year they would do the Follies, and they were hilarious guys. They were very funny. And then they'd say at the end, and now a song from Paul Simon, one of our members, and we'd be like, oh, not him again. I couldn't believe it. And we would sing with him on the steps of the Clapper Library, and then a year later, he was like the major star.
See me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
I studied music with Dr. Macklis.
Who wrote the book?
Genius. Wrote the book on music.
Right.
He was the professor of music there.
I remember.
But he would play. But I was on diet pills also. So I wanted to lose weight. And they would send you into laughing and crying all over the place, these pills, which I do not recommend that. So one day he's playing La Boheme, and he's swooning, and we are laughing in the back hysterically, me and my girlfriends. My girlfriends and I, of course. I'm an English teacher.
She was on pills as well?
Well, the two of us had taken this pill, which we shouldn't have done. And we are laughing hysterically, and Dr. Macklis came back and stood over us and said, what is going on here? And I turned it around to crying. I said, oh, Dr. Macklis, the music is so touching. I pretended I was crying. I think that the things that I did at Queens College brought me to this point. I won a speech contest. I wrote a speech, Why Men Should Marry Older Women. And it was a funny speech. I was a stand-up comedian in that speech class. And here I am doing the same thing years later.
You just didn't know it yet.
I didn't know it, no.
I'm Italian, and I married a Jewish guy. You thought I was Jewish, right? Everyone thinks I'm Jewish. Why is that? A few months ago, I get a call, Happy Hanukkah. I said, Ma, I'm not Jewish, all right? No one believes me.
I would like to say something that's really important about Queens College, and that is, and not just Queens College, Hunter, City University, all around, I got a completely free education in those days. All I had to do was buy books. And I think it cost like $64 a term or something for registration fee.
So it meant a lot to you.
It meant a lot. It meant everything to me.
We're both alumni.
Right.